That was the end of 2012, and it was not love at first sight because I did not understand it. Like many people, I ignored it at first, but then it started popping up more often in my news feeds on Twitter, and I decided to give it more attention. But for me, the thing about learning new things is that I need to understand why I'm learning them, because I don't like theory. I want to practice things that I learn. And the biggest question that Bitcoin posed was, okay, if I need Bitcoin, if Bitcoin is sold to me as money, what's wrong with the money that I have right now? What's wrong with the Canadian dollar that I have in my wallet? And this is how the rabbit hole started, my rabbit hole journey. I went into studying economics and the monetary theory, Austrian economics especially, and I learned how the monetary system works, and the conclusion was that it is completely fake. It's essentially a pyramid scheme that is run on a global level, and none of the governments and states that exist right now in the world they cannot escape it, because this is the system that is created. It started in Great Britain, then it was expanded in the United States, and then the United States model of central banking just expanded all over the world. So that was my first acquaintance with Bitcoin, and I can surely say that it changed my life and the way I view the world. I think the biggest hurdle still, even after so many years, is for people to actually get their hands on Bitcoin. And the most popular question that I get asked is, where do I get some? And of course there are different ways, and the first thing that comes up is usually an online exchange. And there are many exchanges out there: Bitstamp, Binance, Gemini, all kinds of exchanges. But the problem with exchanges is that they are created for professional traders. They have these professional interfaces, all kinds of order types, and because they are very, very regulated, because they have to stay in business, and to stay in business they have to be very regulated and over-comply essentially, it is quite difficult to onboard with exchanges. And that's why I don't personally recommend people who want to invest, especially larger amounts of Bitcoin, to sign up for exchanges. It's just going to be a tedious process. What we offer is a brokerage service. So essentially, we do not hold your Bitcoin. As soon as you buy Bitcoin from us, the Bitcoins go directly to your wallet. So we are a non-custodial solution. And additional to that, if you know about exchanges, then an exchange is essentially just a transactional platform. All you can do there is trade, and no one's there to answer your questions about Bitcoin or wallets and things like that. We provide a service that essentially includes consultancy. We can spend an hour with a client explaining to them all the latest trends in Bitcoin, how things work, what kind of wallets to use, and the general direction where Bitcoin is going. So I think a lot of people find it valuable because there is no Bitcoin hotline out there. You can't pick up a phone and dial a 1-800 number, 1-800-BITCOIN, and there is no support line. I think building long-term relationships with fewer people is more important to me personally and in business than building many relationships with many people, but that are less personal. So what we try to do is to build a long-term relationship with our client, and for that we have catch-up calls sometimes. We can meet for dinner, and as soon as we provide additional services, we will let them know. Even if we cannot provide a particular service, I would rather send a client to a competitor or to someone who can provide, rather than leave them hanging out there, because the world of Bitcoin is very uncertain. There have been a lot of scams, there have been a lot of unsavory actors in the space, so it's really important that the clients that we serve don't get into trouble. We know a lot of people, so we organize things for them, and they're happy with that. We are based in Estonia. This is where we are licensed, but the team is international. I'm personally in Europe right now. My partner Nick lives in Vancouver, and we have people in Mexico and other people in Europe, and we have also developers in Russia. So it's a pretty international firm. As you know, Bitcoin doesn't reside anywhere. It's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. So is our team. We want to be international. We want to be flexible. We don't want to be stuck in a particular brick building from 9 to 5. The market is telling me that people want to be able to connect with someone in the Bitcoin space anytime they want. And the thing with traditional finance companies is that they're open Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. But as you know, Bitcoin trades 24/7. We can get a request on a Saturday night. Hey, I need some Bitcoin, and help me please. So we can work with people like that because we're always there. And one of the reasons why I'm in Europe right now is because if my partner is in North America and I'm in Europe, we cover essentially both time zones, and we can answer questions from clients. And the other reason is why we support stablecoins for moving fiat currencies is that actually on a Saturday night you can send us fiat currency and we can send you Bitcoin. So a deal can be done and it doesn't have to wait until Monday. So this is what the market is after now. It's literally switching from this traditional way of trading during business hours to trading 24 hours. It's not just they have access to us, we have access to our infrastructure all the time. So we have liquidity providers, we have the banking, we have all that, so we can facilitate the trade anytime they want. We are, I would say, more expensive than exchanges because exchanges, they are essentially places where actual price discovery happens. So this is an order book with buys and sells. And when someone says or asks, what is the price of Bitcoin, you go to an exchange to reference the price. But what we do is we just charge a flat brokerage fee, and that fee is 1.25%. It depends on the currency that you use, which is substantially lower than some of the brokers out there who can charge 3-4%. Yeah. But I think it's worth it especially for high net worth clients, family offices, and corporate clients who don't only need the transactional capacity that we can provide, but also need us to explain to them various things about Bitcoin. You learn, and as you learn, you understand how the world works. And the saying, ignorance is bliss. People who don't know what's going on in the world, they can live in this bliss because everything's fine for them. But once you learn, once you take that red pill, I don't think you can really stay the same anymore. You have to, it's just this, you have this urge to actually do something, to change things around a little bit. And it doesn't have to be a global battle of biblical proportions. You can do things on a local level as well. If you're in Malta, you can do things on the neighborhood level, on a city level, or the whole island level. But if you have the capacity, the wealth, and the power, you can, of course, start working your way into the higher levels of society, try to change some things there. So it's not a personal battle, it's rather what you ought to do when you know that things are not right. I'm not an investment advisor, but what I can say is that based on my experience and based on what I've seen so far, and based on my understanding of technology and economics, this is the best shot we've got. Honestly, people asked me this question before, and I think that without Bitcoin, the world would look much dimmer right now. There would be much less hope, and I think Bitcoin is this light at the end of the tunnel that actually allows us to have a lot more hope for the future, because this gives us more opportunity, more freedom to do what we want to do. Because the biggest part of enslavement, so to speak, is the financial enslavement. And once you break free of financial enslavement, once you are a sovereign individual in terms of your finance, then you can do a lot of things that you weren't able to do before. And this is what Bitcoin gives you. I think it's the one thing that actually makes or breaks the world, and we're happy to have it. Hard currency means that it is hard to produce, first and foremost. It is also equated with sound money. So sound money is the money that is hard to produce, and it is also finite in amount. So if you compared to fiat currencies that we have right now, they can literally be printed at the press of a button. So that's what the central banks of Europe and the United States have been doing over the past 40 years. But especially just recently, due to this COVID situation, the printing presses have been going like crazy, and they've been printing so much money that they haven't been, that they haven't printed in the previous decades. So, and obviously, if you print so much paper, it literally becomes toilet paper over time, as the anecdotal evidence from some African countries say that sometimes paper money becomes cheaper to use as toilet paper than toilet paper itself. So this is a funny situation, but it is real, and I think this is the fate of all fiat currencies out there. Whereas with hard money, such as gold, that was the previous most popular hard money in the world, and Bitcoin, that is, I think, the future of hard money, which I think has the potential to become a reserve currency in the world. You cannot inflate it. It's just it's set in stone on the protocol level. There's only 21 million Bitcoins that can ever be created, and you just have to be playing by the rules of a protocol. There is no politics anymore. Well, it starts with me waking up pretty early. I wake up at 5 every day, and I spend an hour reading my book. Then I go to the gym. At 6 I'm in the gym, spend an hour in the gym. Then at 7 I write. I write a blog, and I also guest write in different publications. So. And that's the business days. On weekends, I record my podcast. I recently launched a podcast. I just recorded 6 episodes so far, but it's getting there. And that's my morning routine, so to speak. And after that, I go to actual business. So before that, I'm completely on silent. Don't bug me. I don't exist. When my personal routine is done, I go to check business. As many Bitcoin entrepreneurs, I check the Bitcoin price pretty often as the first thing that I do, because it's important for us to know where it's going. If the price is going up, okay, we can probably expect a little more buyers coming in. If it's going down, maybe there's a little more sellers, or also buyers because they want to buy the dip. And then, I do the regular stuff, emails and messaging, project management, because there's always lots of movement in the company, and we're working on different things. We don't want to be stale. We want to develop the brand. And Bitcoin Reserve is quite a new brand. We launched the brand in January. So, as you know, branding takes some time. It takes time to build trust in the brand and in the people behind the brand. So this is our main focus right now. And I wouldn't say I sit at my computer for the rest of the day just working. It's on and off, because I also have family and I have to dedicate some time to my children, to my wife. So I would say I use time blocks as the method of organizing my day. I have an hour time block for work. Then I just take a time off for my kids. Then another hour, and then I read more. And closer to the evening, as my energy depletes, I just get more and more relaxed and just let the day go by in whatever mode wherever it leads me.